What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, today I went to check out a little movie called The Bikeriders. This movie stars Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, Jodie Comer, and really a bunch of other people. It's got a pretty interesting cast of actors in it. The latest film from Jeff Nichols. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 cents on this. But before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel and go ahead and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Give me a thumbs up down below if you're enjoying the Out of the Theater reviews every week. It definitely helps the videos do better, and I would appreciate it. And also leave me a comment. Did you see this? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you interested? Are you not interested? I want to know your thoughts as well. Okay, Jeff Nichols is a filmmaker who I've seen 2 of his movies, but I liked both of them. He did a movie called Mud with Matthew McConaughey that I thought was very good. He did also a movie called Midnight Special with Michael Shannon, which I thought was very good. And so I was like, okay, cool. I haven't seen anything from him in a while. Myself, I haven't seen any movie he directed in a while. And Tom Hardy, I feel like I haven't seen Tom Hardy in anything like besides Venom. I don't even know what he's been doing. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where I was like, oh, Tom Hardy movie where he's like a lead character. So I was very excited. He's one of my favorite actors, like working actors. Austin Butler, I'm a little more 50-50 on, and Jodie Comer I love. I think she's fantastic. So I was interested in the movie, and I gotta say I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's really good. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy big hit, but it is pretty small scale drama. It's not an action movie. It's like a crime drama, I guess. But even that, like, it's not. So let me give you the premise here. Basically, the movie follows this guy. He's played by Mike Feist, who was just in Challengers. He was in West Side Story. He is a guy who takes photos. He's a photographer, and he's interviewing this group, this biker gang. They're called the Vandals. They're from the Midwest, Chicago area, and he's basically like hanging out with them. He's interviewing them. He interviews Jodie Comer's character. She's kind of the main one who's telling this whole entire story, and he's just getting getting to know these people. Now, this is based on an actual book called The Bikeriders, which is exactly this. They show the real photos at the end, and it's basically just like following this biker. It's not really a gang. It's a motorcycle club around. Like, don't think Sons of Anarchy with this movie. It's not that. It's not like a motorcycle gang. Do they do some crimes? Yes. But is like that the main story? No. It's really about the relationship of these characters with each other. I gotta say, I think Jodie Comer, again, knocks it out the park. I love her. Anything she's an actress that I genuinely am like interested in seeing what she does. And I thought she was fantastic. She nails this accent. She has this like Illinois accent. Fantastic. Really funny at times. The movie's a lot funnier than I thought in a lot of the dialogue. Michael Shannon is in this movie, and he's kind of in a few scenes, but he's in 2 scenes really where he just tells these stories. He has like 2 scenes where he tells like 3 or 4 minute stories, and they're so funny. Like, they're probably written, but they almost sound like he could have just made them up on the spot. Fantastic scene stealer in the 2 parts he's in. Norman Reedus pops up in this movie. A lot of people, Boyd Holbrook pops up in this movie. So, like, there's a bunch of people that I recognize, and I was like, oh, interesting that it's more than just these 3. But Jodie Comer's great. Austin Butler, for being sort of the main guy of the movie, he's not really. I think it balances more between her and Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy feels more of gets more of the lion's share of the story here. And I liked his character way more. I thought he was way more interesting. His performance is good. He's always good, in my opinion. But his character is more interesting. He's the leader of the biker gang. It shows how, I'm just going to call him the biker gang, the motorcycle club. It shows how he starts it, what inspires him to start it, which is kind of funny. And Austin Butler is sort of like he's a member, I guess, kind of like his right-hand guy. And then you meet this cast of characters and you pretty much just follow them around. It's one of those movies, like, it does have a plot, a story, but it's a character-driven movie. And so I really enjoyed that. There's a subplot with this other, young guy who keeps popping up. And I was like, something's going to happen with this kid. And sure enough, it does. I won't spoil it here or anything. We don't do spoilers. But as far as the negatives, I think Austin Butler's character bothered me. Not the performance was just okay. He's quiet. He barely talks. Like, he talks very little, to be honest with you. And I never really got a sense of who he was. I feel like I knew everyone else, but him, I never really felt like I knew him that well. And so it was hard for me to totally get invested in his when he was on screen. So that was kind of a bummer. Like, he looked cool, but he just likes to ride motorcycles. Like, that's his whole thing. There's not a lot of too much dynamics with him. And him and Jodie Comer, I wish they had more parts together, but they have a lot less than I thought they were. But so that was kind of, when he comes on, it was a little less interesting. But other than that, I thought it was very good. Good movie, good music, really good of the time. It's set in like the 60s, 50s, 60s, and then like very early 70s at the end. So good soundtrack, good performances, good cast. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think this is a really solid film. Go see it. My theater was relatively full, so maybe people will check this out. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, I will be back next week with another review, and I will be seeing A Quiet Place Day 1. So until then, take it easy.